Hi everyone, here again for a preview of the upcoming weekend's main fixture. Lovely day here, 18 degrees. I'm outside for the first time. Don't know which is best. Probably I've got the sun in my eyes a bit, but yeah, that's a bit better. Lovely day, 18 degrees today. First time out in outdoors to do a preview. And looking ahead at the weekend, we might expect 15 degrees and wall-to-wall sunshine on Sunday when the South of England Road Relays take place at Milton Keynes, which is hopefully where I'll be. Anyway, this is what I'm going to concentrate on. It is the regional road relay weekend. North, Midlands and the South taking place over the weekend. You've got the first time they've been held actually since 2019 because of what we've all been through. So 3 years have gone by. Only the Midlands are on the same course perhaps as they were back in 2019. So direct comparisons on times aren't possible, but it'd be interesting to see what goes on there, because in those 3 years, of course, we've had quite a lot of developments on the road racing shoe side, and yeah, it will be very interesting for the Midlands to see whether that's made a difference to the individual times recorded. At all three events, the top 25 men's teams are invited to compete at the National Road Relays, which will take place at Sutton Park on the 9th, Saturday the 9th of April. You can throw into the mix on the 3rd of April is the Manchester Marathon, which is the Commonwealth Games trial, and I'm sure that might take a few out of the national. But there you go. Lot to look forward to. If you go to the Northern, start with the Northern. It takes place at Birkenhead Park on the Wirral, up near Liverpool. The men's race 12 legs, 4 of 8k and 8 over 4k. And the women 2 of 8k and 4 over 4k, 6 stage. There's a full programme available on SportSoft Race Results website. There's also young athletes races over 5k, as there is in each of the regions, although I must admit, as a club, we haven't particularly supported them. I just feel perhaps youngsters need a little bit of a break after all the racing they've done in recent weeks. English schools last weekend, and then you've got the track season will be starting soon for many of them. But anyway, back to the Northern. 2019, men's top 5 teams in 2019 were Leeds, Sheffield, Salford, Liverpool and Morpeth. And again, you probably, depending on how Leeds play, expect them to be right up there, challenging for the Northern Championship and the National eventually. The women top 5 back in 2019 were Rotherham, Leeds, Lee, Ribble Valley and Salford. And again, Leeds very strong, got field teams of 6. It's it's not easy. 6 and 12 it gets quite hard for clubs, so there can be surprises. Turning to the Midland, which is the one which is at the same venue as it's always been, or always at, which is the Sutton Park at Sutton Coldfield. I think the same course will be used, or courses will be used. Again, you've got slightly different format from the National, with the men with 8 short legs and 4 long, and in the National course it's 6 and 6. And the women do 2 long and 4 short, which is the same format. Be interesting, back in 2019 you're getting fastest times on the short leg of 15 minutes for the men and 17 minutes roughly for the women, and 25 minutes for the long leg for the men and 28 minutes for the women. Be very interesting to see a comparison this year, what happens. Top 5 teams from 2019 on the men's side were Bristol, Birchfield, Notts, Cheltenham and Tipton. And on the women's side were Birchfield, Wolverhampton, Bristol, Newcastle Staffs and Bratt, which is Birmingham Running and Triathlon Club. So take your pick out of those. it's very difficult to make predictions on these. You just don't know who's managed to get people out, especially after 3 years. Bristol, very good, quite high up in the national cross country on the men's side. Yeah, I know Birchfield could be quite strong, got some good runners, but again, it's getting them out on the day on the women's side, so who knows. And then turning to the Southern, which is at Milton Keynes, which I'm most familiar with. They've actually made a change in the course this year, so it won't be exactly as it was back in 2019. But they're sticking with the traditional format, 6 long and 6 short on the men, about 8k and 5k, and on the women's side it's 2 long and 4 short. Back in 2019 it was a good race. I was surprised by how many top athletes turned out for their clubs and how competitive it was right the way through, and significantly up on I think the previous year in terms of overall performance. But 2019 top 5 men teams were Aldershot, Highgate, Bedford, Kent and Belgrave. I best give Tunbridge a mention because we were 6th, so we didn't make the top 5, and we had a reasonable team, so it was a good competitive race. On the women's side, Herne Hill got a good team out and they won it from Cambridge, Thames Valley Harriers, Aldershot and London Heath side. We've seen London Heath side feature in some of the major cross country this year. Of course, moving from 4 to score there to 6 in this might make a big difference, but yeah, be interesting. Whether Southampton can come into the mix with 12, I think they can, but you need more than 12 really to have availability. Yeah, to get 12, definitely good runners out, so that would be an interesting challenge. But I think Highgate and Aldershot might well be up there again, and the rest of us scrapping around and doing well if the quality drops a little bit overall, or yeah, we shall see. So that's my little preview of the North, the Midlands and the Southern Road Relays this coming weekend. Hope everyone has a lovely day and it's a short stay wherever you are, and hope for some good racing.